would buy it if I were you. All right, did everybody see this? You can take it, I'll pass it around.
That's a good idea.
This particular one here, and it's a phone number in here. If not, I can get it for you by Scott Hilton. You can actually call, sign up, and if you're going to get into the credit repair business,
Can
if
you hold it?
choose to,
Pause it for a second.
he has all of the forms on here. All the forms that I gave you in the packet are in this book. So let's say if you want to dispute something on your credit, there's sample letters in here. This book is all the letters that you need to send out to creditors. So if you need a letter because there's something on there that shouldn't be there, if you're trying to get an inquiry removed, or if you're trying to get an inquiry removed letter number 1, and an inquiry removed letter number 2, if they steal it removed, and an inquiry removed letter number 3. So he has different letters for different scenarios on your credit file. All the phone numbers of the folk that you need to contact from the credit bureaus, the addresses, the way you mail stuff out to, is in this little book. You can go on Amazon and order them. I'm gonna give you these books. This is called Credit Secret Quick Start Guide. I bought all 3 of them, so anything I want to know about credit, I just go right here and grab this information out of this book. And they have it where, let's say if I was starting a credit repair workshop, on his website he have it where you can sign up into the portal and have access to the letters yourself, so you don't have to type anything. You have your own like credit profile. So if I'm trying to remove something off of your specific credit report, I can actually go into his portal and grab a letter related to whatever it is that you're dealing with, and put your name on it and just print it out, and then have the address and say, okay, send these 3 out, or send them out on your behalf. So I can actually start my own credit business just using the tools that he already has. I don't have an interest in that because I don't have the time, but it is a good business for somebody that's interested. What I would like to see Apostle at some point in time is, if you don't have a business here at Faith Destiny Outreach Ministry, I definitely want you to build your credit. And then you may say, well, I already have good credit. Then we're going to move into how do you build business credit? Because your personal credit is one thing. Once you start these businesses, I'm going to show you how to get credit for your company, so you can start to buy things in what? Your company name, not just your own personal, okay? So I'm gonna pass this book around. This is really good. And then here's a third one. We can pass this around if anybody want it. There's 3 of them that's gonna be circulated. Okay, we did that one. Everybody has this one?
No.
All right, let's send that one that way. And then we have a third one here. That's the Credit Secrets. Credit Secrets. This is the third one. We'll pass around. And I think that's probably all you need right here. Okay? All right. So I'm only going to spend 30 minutes, so I can't do a whole bunch in 30 minutes other than to talk a little bit. I had given everybody a packet that looked like this at the last workshop. Did everybody get this packet?
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't have this packet, I'm going to give a copy of this to Miss Miller or either Miss Robinson.
Here.
And Miss Robinson, if you could, or Miss Miller, Miss Robinson, make copies of these, and then on maybe Sunday she'll just bring it. She'll probably, not Sunday, I'm sorry, next week at Bible study.
Okay.
Or the next time we see you, we'll make sure you get a packet of this, okay? I'll lend 2 out. Everything that I'm going to talk about in here is already in your what? In these books right here. So if you order these books, then you don't need these packets. What I did is I went through the book and made a packet.
Okay.
But if I were you, I would order my own book.
Right.
If you have trouble calling, I'll find the number for you. But you don't just want to order the book, you want to look up the phone number that I'll give you. I'm going to have to probably find it for you. Because you can set up in their portal, like I said, all of the forms, but you may not necessarily know what I'm talking about right now. Because I'm probably have to dig the number out for Scott Allison. What did I say the name was on there? Right. I'm going to have to find their organization, because they actually have a credit organization. That's all they do. It's like an institute, right? Teach you how to do credit. business, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so now let me tell you this. How many of you guys already have good credit? Raise your hand.
What's good? What's good?
Yeah.
What's good?
Brother
All
Isaac,
right.
can you go get my pouch out the back seat? How many of you, so let's talk about, so let me start with me first.
Okay, you're on the
Because
way.
first of all, let's start by saying this. All of the information that we share here is, this is our personal information. So if you don't want to share anything personal and Sister I is recording, then you don't have to, right? I'm a transparent person.
He's gonna be the only one on camera, so y'all
Right.
fine.
But you can share if you like. I'm a transparent person. I tell anybody, I don't think anybody should be hosting workshops if they don't have the qualifications to do it, right?
Right.
So I don't want anybody teaching me about credit if they don't have good credit.
Right.
Because that means that they're not doing something right. So I'll tell you a little bit about me. My credit at once upon a time was very low. I probably was in the 400s. I don't know, maybe 423 if I can go back that far. How many of you ever been there? In the 400s?
Me.
Okay, so that was me. I struggled. I didn't know what to do. Most people don't. We just think things are there and they're just going to do what? Magically what? Disappear. That was me. Well, guess what? They never magically disappeared. They just stayed and stayed and stayed. And one day I got to a place in my life where I said, look, I want to have good credit because I want to be able to buy stuff, right? And so I worked real hard, and that's what you guys are going to have to do. There's nothing I can do for you other than give you information. I worked real hard and put myself in a position where now I can pretty much buy anything I want on what? Credit. And I want to show you something, the power of credit. And I'm showing you this because I don't ever want you to use it. Sister Tisa gets nervous like me. Oh my God, how many of you got so much credit it makes you nervous? Raise your hand. That's me. Now let me show you. I probably have every credit card, I ain't gonna say known to man, but I got every credit card. The only card I don't have is the American Express Black card, which I have the platinum, but I'm working on the black. Right? I'm on my way to that black thing. So I have hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit. Literally hundreds of thousands. And guess what? I owe $0 on any of them. They're just hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting. So it gives me the power to go out and if I want to go buy something, 50,000, 100,000, 200, whatever the numbers may be, I can go buy it using somebody else's what? Money. But I don't use it. Now that comes into a place of what?
Discipline.
That's why sometimes I like showing people how to talk about credit, but then they go out and they get it and they get so excited and they start doing what I did when I was in college. When I was at the University of Miami, I learned the first valuable lesson in credit. I got an American Express card. And I charged them everything. I was a baller. I had the green card, Tisa. Tisa still has her. They didn't let me have that thing more than about 6 months. Because when I got the bill, I didn't realize I had to what? Pay it. So I had to charge all this stuff up. And here I am as a college student, which is a problem. They'll give you thousands of dollars in credit. They'll give you thousands of dollars in student loans, but they won't give you what? A business loan. They won't give you a business loan. They'll give you thousands of dollars in credit cards. They'll give you thousands of dollars in what? Student loans.
Right.
But they won't give an 18-year-old a business loan. That tells you something about what? The society in which we live.
Yeah.
They will give you $100,000 in student loans.
Debt.
And thousands of dollars in credit, but not a business loan.
They don't want you to succeed.
They don't want you to succeed. The idea is to get you in what?
Stuck
Debt. So
to them.
when I'm talking to you guys about credit and I'm showing you things, it's not because I want you to take it and get in what? Debt. I want you to use that credit what? Responsibly. And so it's a lot of power in that, right?
They don't want you taking their money.
How many of
They
you would
want
like to have
take your money.
$300,000 in credit? 100,000, 50,000, whatever your dreams are. We would, right?
Amen.
That's a good feeling. Go ahead.
I have a question about all the cards, all the accounts that we have, right? And
Right.
we don't use them. Okay, in circumstances like if you're not using them, would they not close them out? How
Look, I've had some of these cards.
Sometimes.
I know it's one card in here. I can't even tell you the years on these things. This card right here, I probably had since 2000, whatever year. I've had this card 15 years, maybe. I've used this card 2 or 3 times, and they've never closed it out. Now, what I'll do sometimes is I may charge something on a card just to, keep it open. My problem is that I have so many credit cards, and then the longevity of your accounts is the key to it. I can't close them out because I've had accounts open for 15. One, if they give me credit for it, it'll be about 30 years. There's no way I can close it out because most of your credit is based on the what?
Longevity.
The longevity of the time that you had it. So I'm definitely not going to close the credit card out. So some of them will decrease your balance. Some of them may even close you out, but I'm going to let them do it, right? I'm not going to do it. So I just can't use them all, but these are cards that I've accumulated over the years. So I like I said, sometimes I'll take a trip and I'll say, oh, I'm gonna choose a different card that I never used before. So I'll take that card like when I was out of town just now. I grabbed the card, I said, I'll take that because I'm gonna pay it right off. I'm very disciplined with credit though. I mean, my wife would tell you, like, that is something that I spend a lot of time working to build. My score on one of them shows in the 800s. So I'm in the 800 club or somewhere right around the 800 club. So to get in the 800 club puts you in the top, tier borrowers in the U.S. And it allows you to do anything you want. You want to buy a house, you're going to have what? You want to refinance, you're going to have what? You want to get a car, you're going to have what? Anything that you do, you're going to have credit. And that's on the personal and the what side? The business side. So this packet is going to explain a lot, but I want to start by asking you, because we only have 30 minutes, because I can say a whole bunch of stuff. Let you ask questions in the beginning, because this is going to be one of many, many workshops. What questions may you have before I just jump in and start talking? Because some of us have questions, they never get answered.
My credit was a 7, and I went to, they wanted me to open a credit card. I have credit cards, but when I opened this particular credit card, the lady called and told me that my credit score was down to a 5. And I said, how in the world that happened when I don't owe anybody?
Right.
I buy something, I build that credit up, and then I pay it off.
Right.
And I walked into a jewelry store, sales, and they told me that no one never came in here and got top credit like I did. And I didn't buy anything.
Right.
So I just wanted to see what my credit score was. She said it was on top. So the other day, the other lady told me that it wasn't. It was a 5. My husband said she must have did something wrong, but my credit is better
Who
than
is
his credit.
she?
The bank lady.
The bank lady. Let me say this. Let me give somebody this here information. This is a great question you asked. I gave it to Miss Miller yesterday because her credit is going to be stellar. It's already stellar. She was sharing it with me. How she's done built up, and she's in the. When you get in the 700 club, you start.
My credit had jumped up. I've never seen this before or heard of 100 points. I didn't think that even existed.
Oh yeah, that's not hard.
I didn't think it, but I didn't think it existed.
But she worked on it. Ask her. She's been what? Trust me, she's been working on it. So let me give you this phone number here. Experian. Everybody write this down. Experian. 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 The number is 1-866 506-7894. Or you can go to Experian.com. You want to call them because you may not, if you're not computer savvy, it may frustrate you trying to figure out how to sign up for the online monitoring system. It's going to cost you, but I mean, if you have to determine whether you can afford an extra $29, or you can just buy all 3 of your reports at a one-time fee of whatever it may be, $34, $20-something. Or you can go to freecreditreport.com. I don't use those. I'm just telling you, I'm only going to give you what I do, right?
Right.
So if you know another way to do it, go for it. They're free credit reports that you can order, but I like to see all three of mine.
Well, but the frequency you offer is once a year, and then but you have to cancel it for the.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you any of that. Anything free you can go figure out. Sometimes things free,
Ain't free.
you know, so there are ways that you can get your credit report free. So Google that, you figure that one out. I'm not gonna give you that. I use this monitoring system here at Experian. What it allows me to do is I go into Experian.com and I can sign up to order all three of my reports. If I can't figure it out, I just call that number and then wait till somebody keep pushing 0. Give somebody on the phone and say, look, I want to buy my 3 credit reports. Not just the reports and the scores, because I want to look at all 3 of them. I'm not just so concerned about my I can't help you until I see it. My credit score, I want to see my what? Report. And I monitor mine every month. Anytime there's a change in my report, I get an alert email. Now some of y'all may use other portals, that's fine. I just use this one because it's accurate. I like it and I know it works. So I can't tell you where you are in the 500s, but I can tell you the way credit works. Utilization is the first thing. A lot of times people don't realize that they're utilizing too much of their credit, and if you utilize over, they say 30%. I have my utilization at 0. I used to have it at about 30%, so I'll utilize, let's say I got 100,000, let's make that number. Let's say 10,000, because I don't know where you guys are. So let's say I got $10,000 in total credit, which is the average household, right? The average person don't have more than 10,000. Then you got that other group that, you know, let's just talk about the 10,000 group. So if I use 3,000 of it, now I'm at, my utilization's at 30%, Mother Ruby. That can impact you tremendously. If you go 30%, 40%, 50%. I know people that only have a credit card for $1,000. I knew somebody, and they were utilizing $900. I said, your utilization is at 90%. That is going to impact your score tremendously. So it's very important for you, first of all, to see what your utilization is. You're not going to know that if you don't have your report in front of you and you don't go to Experian to pull it so you can analyze it. And I could sit with you, but you'd have to have everything in front of you. So I think one thing could be, maybe not, it could be your utilization. Another thing could be, maybe not, I'm just giving you scenarios.
Right.
So what it could be. A lot of times your credit is not as high as you like it to be because you don't have a longevity of time. Anything over 20 years will then take you into an exceptional status with credit. But most people, if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of credit, about 30%, and it's in this packet, you can find it in a minute. A certain percentage of your score comes from the longevity of the time you had your credit. So somebody called me not long ago and they said, I've had this account for 14 years, or how many years, so I closed it. I'm like, no. They said, well, I'm not using it. I said, but then that's your length of time. That's a lot of your score right there is built on the longevity. So they were thinking because they didn't use it to go ahead and what? Close it. Never close an account that's been open a long time.
Even if you pay your credit card off, like I pay mine off every month. I don't care what it is, I pay it off. But I, still open, but I pay it off.
Right.
So that will mess with my credit too.
No, you paying it off every month is great. I'm saying don't close the account.
No, I don't close because I'm gonna use the card,
Right.
but I just pay it. Whatever I owe, I pay them.
Owe it.
The whole thing.
Owe it, pay it, but something's happening, and I'm giving you 1 or 4 things that's taking place. One, your utilization. I guarantee your utilization could have been at that time. And here's what people don't understand. Your credit, you have to call all your creditors if you have credit to find out when it reports on your credit report. So let me give you an example. I'm just gonna use $1,000, right? I got a $1,000 credit card, and that's the only one I have. I went out and I spent $90, right? That took my I spent $900, I'm sorry. I spent $900, so that took my utilization up to what? 90%. So now I went to go buy something, right, from at the bank or wherever you went, and they pull your credit report. Well, your utilization at the time they pulled it was at 90%. But let's say next week I paid it off. Your utilization is now back at what? 0, but at the time you applied for something, it was at what? 90%. So you have to know when items report. Like I can tell you on my credit card, if I'm getting ready to use one, I'm gonna go find out, okay, if I use this credit card and I'm getting ready to go do something else, when is this gonna report on my credit report? So I gotta make sure that it's paid off before I go do something else. So if I'm at 90% because I used $1,000 today, well, I'm gonna pay that off and give it 3 days to clear. I'm gonna call the company, hey, did this come off? Did this balance come off? Yeah. Then I go into my monitoring system, me personally, and I just go ahead and pay for another report to make sure it's off. Okay, now I'm back at 0. Now let me go buy something. But if I buy it at 90%, I'm not gonna get it because my utilization is 35% of my credit. My score just shot down, but it's gonna go back up when it's paid off. Your credit is like this here. It's up and down because you don't know it's an algorithm. If you don't know how to play that game, you're in trouble. So you have to, that's why I monitor my report, and anytime I'm gonna go buy something, before I buy, I analyze my own situation first. There's nowhere I'm going to buy anything they're gonna ever tell me no. If I already know, right? If I know I got good credit and I got the income, that's when I'm gonna go buy it. People go, well, let me go see. I never went to go see to do anything. I went to buy a house, I bought it. I went to buy buildings, I bought it. Anything I go to buy, I know I'm gonna get it because I'm not gonna go apply for it if I'm not in the situation to get it. That takes me to the third thing, inquiries. Once you get over 6 inquiries, your credit goes from exceptional, very good, good to bad. When you get over 6 inquiries in 2 years, you're in the bad category. That's 10% of your score. So now you just going out, oh, let me go apply for something. Well, you done did that 2 to 6 times in a year. Now you very bad. Now you just lost 10% of your score. Your score can go up to 850. So now 85 points you'll never see because you're in the very poor category because you keep applying. You keep applying for stuff on your credit.
They keep sending a bunch of bank things to get credit. You know, you're pre-approved. I marry them up. I mean, I
Tear 'em
like
up.
credit. I don't want no.
I'm gonna tell you when you go do credit. We only have 30 minutes on this. Come get the business. I know we'll go fast. Sister T, I think Sister T, you had your hand up.
Yeah, so like, I know like the longevity of is there any way around having longevity to add to the car, that add every year?
Let me tell you what I've done. I have these many cars at my house where I've added, whether it's family, friends, or people that I trust, because I realize that they need help, and I trust them. If they mess up, then the trust is gone, right? So there are certain people that I look at their profile and I say, man, if they just had an account where they can get those 20 years, right? Or if maybe they only have, $1,000 worth of credit, right? And they're using $800, so their utilization is at 80%. I'm gonna give them a $10,000 card, right? So now they don't have to pay it off. Now I push the utilization way down because now they only use $800 and $10,000, $10,800. So if people in your family, like the friends, got good credit, they can put you on their accounts to push your utilization down, one, or give you longevity, two, but it has to be people that you really trust. So the only way you can circumvent that is, you can get added to people's accounts, which I do I've added several people to my accounts to give them the years, right? Maybe they didn't have credit for a long time, so now I just gave them 20 years. Or maybe they just don't have enough credit. Credit works like this here. I have hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit. Why? Because if they see this card here, if I go get a card, what is this card? This is a GoBiz business card. If I go get this card here that only has $1,000 on it, and all my cards are just 1,000, for example, when I go to another bank, they feel like I can only be trusted with how much? Y'all smart. But if this card has $50,000 and I go apply somewhere else, guess what they see? Oh, somebody else trusted him with what? $50,000. It's all a trust thing. So when I go apply for credit, I only apply for the ones I know I'm gonna get 20,000 above. Like you're not gonna give me 10,000 where I'm at a play. If you're not gonna give me 20,000, I don't want your credit. I need 100,000. So I called and I gave y'all some numbers. I want this one because how much it gives? It gives 100. Don't apply for them unless you're in some of y'all situations. Like I got one person here I brought some stuff for because he has new credit. He has no credit, so I'm gonna show him how to get what? Started. I'm gonna get in just a minute. Because you don't want no $20,000 in credit if you ain't never played the game. I helped somebody and I showed them because I know certain banks that can give you high limits. I helped one person get it, and within about a month they had to charge the 10 grand up. I'm like, oh, why did I show you? Then they got another one. I'm like, oh no, they got. Cause see that thing gonna make you a baller. You know, you got all these cars, you balling now, and they call me. And I said, how's it going with your credit? Well, how did you use it all up? But they got it straightened back out. So you need to start out small. So I'm gonna show y'all how to start out real what? Small with 300 or 500. Because to you that's gonna be a lot of money because it was to me when I got my first one.
Right.
And then you got to be able to manage that 3 to 5, and then you come back and I'm gonna, you know, especially if I'm helping you.
Right.
6 months from now, if I see you did well, I'm gonna show you how to go from 3 to 5 to 10 and play different games. But you don't want to start out that high. For some of y'all that's real responsible, it's okay. You can start out, you know, with high limits because you're not gonna abuse it.
Okay, my problem is this. I worked for JCPenney for 16 and a half years. But JCPenney don't give you a pension. So when I retired in 2019, I gave back my car. I gave back my cars, everything. Because I said, I'm at an age where I'm 80 years old, what do I need credit for? And even if they come after me, they can't get nothing because I only get $1,000 from Social Security to live on. So my grandson did my credit report, and it was in the 400s, and now it's like 559. But when you look at my credit report, it's still got all the ones that I've had for years, still on that paid off, closed out,
Right.
and it's still running like I'm $1 million.
Right. I can't. It's hard to explain it because I don't know. I can say that if you can pull it, we can sit and analyze it. Let me say this here. If you have a bill on your credit report and you don't pay it, it's going to keep being sold. It can stay on your report for up to 7 years, repossessions up to 10 years, but it's 7 years from the last activity date or 7 years from the charge-off date. So that's what they say, 7 years,
Right.
but you don't. 7 years from the charge-off date, but if it's not charged off because somebody bought it, so one credit company bought it, and they never charge it off, and then they flip it and sell that debt to somebody else. Unless you know how to get it off, it could be there for a long time. A late payment can be there for a long time. So it's not just 7 years. It's 7 years from the charge-off date. But do you know when it was charged off?
Yeah.
You don't have a credit monitoring system. You don't look at yours. So now your debt can be sold all over the place. 3 or 4 companies are selling it. They couldn't collect, so they'll sell it to somebody else who will sell it to somebody else. So now you got every company that they sell it to figuring like hey, I got another 7 years. So you may have that debt just there because you don't know how to stop and get it off. So that could be one problem. If it's good credit and you don't close the account, or even if you close the account, it's still going to be on your profile. Your credit is going to be on your profile, period, unless you get the item removed. So in your case, it's stuff there that's either good or bad. The bad stuff is probably there because maybe you walked away from it, right?
Right,
Yeah, we
my
had to.
car payment was up
No,
to date,
but it's
and
okay.
I just gave it back.
No,
I
but
knew I couldn't afford to pay.
but so what? Let me say this here: you're never not at an age where you can have what credit. Let me tell you something. You'd much rather be in a position where you got access to. I don't want to say hundreds. I have to say hundreds because my mind don't think anything other than right. When you got access to thousands of dollars of somebody else's what money. I'm not telling you to use it, but it feels what good. If something happened and you got 50, 120, 10, whatever's a lot to you, that feels what? Good. Just don't what? Use it. But just have it.
I got one for $300 and my daughter added me on to her.
Right.
And I pay it every month to make sure.
Your situation, every situation is going to be very what? Different. So we're going to work on those situations, but first, I just want to, I know what you're dealing with, but I am going to be explaining that.
Right.
you're dealing with stuff that most people are. Most people get stuff on their credit, they don't pay it, they walk away, and it just falls. And then they don't know what to do, so they don't do what? Nothing. And then therefore they can't get what? Nothing. Until they decide that they're gonna do what? Something. It's just the truth.
I just got one question. How do I get from $10,000?
Okay, let me get to this shit. Let me get here. Okay.
I need a 5.
No. You know, if you knew and you don't have credit, if you knew, listen,
Stuff, but it's just like we giving you a $2,500 limit, and I'm like, well, no.
because you don't know, look,
But that's because I started out with the $300, $500 card because I didn't have credit.
you get these consumer credit cards when you knew.
Right.
Okay, so let me show you, I only gave you 2, and I gave you the phone numbers. Setting up new credit, Terry, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna call First Premier and Credit One. They are gonna give you a credit card for $300 to $500. These 2 are gonna give you credit. You have no credit, right? So you need to get started. Mother Ruby, you're gonna go home with him, get his social security number together. Don't do anything before you call me, because there's some other stuff I wanna tell you first.
Okay.
He's gonna apply for these 2 only. Nobody else is gonna give you credit right now. Just like if I had the business profile here, I'll show you what accounts you can do for you guys that are already opening your business. I'm gonna show you how to get business credit that they're gonna give you. So you can have a DUN number, but then that's a whole other conversation. I gotta make sure you have a DUN and Bradstreet number. Because if you don't have that, I gotta show you how to set it up. But we're not gonna talk about that now. So this is you, Terry. Who else doesn't have credit in here other than Brother Terry? Okay, so Brother Terry, these 2 circumstances are gonna fall in. This is gonna get you started. $300 to $500. He'll probably end up with about $600, $700 at the end of the day today when you call. He'll come back, oh, I got 2 credit cards. They take people that have no credit and give you credit cards. They're gonna charge you a fee. That fee is $70 or whatever, so if that credit card is $500, automatically $70 of it's gonna be taken off just to give you what? Credit. That's the only way you can get started. Unless Mama is gonna give you one of her cards on her account to get you going. But let's assume that ain't gonna happen. Alright, now let's move on.
No.
Let me jump over here to you, Sister Lena. For those that have established credit. Now, if you don't have established credit, you're here. For those that's in the middle whose credit's not good, we're not trying to get any credit. We need to clean up our what? Credit. So if you don't have good credit, I'm not talking to you right now. You here because you need to get some help. Those that don't have it are here because they need to get some credit. Those that have got to a place where they're in the, I'll just say 650 or above range, okay, you there. You just don't know how to go to the next one. level. So this is for this, that's this group. So that group, these are the 3 companies that I want you to get set up with. If you don't have Navy Federal, let me know. Do you have Navy Federal?
I do.
Have you applied?
For a credit card?
Yes.
No.
Okay. So don't do it until we talk.
Okay, gotcha.
Who else have pretty good credit but they just want more? Raise your hand. All right, do you have Navy? You can get it because Dale is in the
I got
past
10
military.
credit.
Huh?
10 credit.
No, you need Navy.
Navy? What's the difference?
Okay, let me tell you the difference in Navy. I started out with Navy. My first card was 10,000, then it was 20,000. They gave me another one for 25,000. So they maxed me out at 80,000. Like I can't get no more credit. The most you can get is 80 grand, and it's easy to do.
And then it's a credit union.
Yeah, and it's a credit union, but I'm not even looking at that part. It's a credit union, but I can get you signed up as a family or friend. I have most of the people here that's at Faith Destiny. A lot of them have Navy.
So I need
Trust
to get
me.
Navy. I need to get Navy.
You got, if you in that group, how many of you got Navy and have over 10,000 since you met me? Raise your hand.
Oh, well, I
How many have Navy since you? Well, there's several that have Navy that I know that got it. They got their credit. They got over 10. Some got 20. Some got 25. Since they met me, I got them signed up. They got Navy. I know what they got. I know at least 3 that didn't have no Navy. They got it, and now they got. I know 4 actually. That's right here that I have. And they got, so between the 4 of them, they got a lot of credit.
So you don't want me to
So let me, where's the other sheet? So, right, this one. Now, no, that's right. That one. The phone number. So why I say Navy Federal, because I have most of the credit unions. It ain't too many cards I don't have. Navy Federal, it is the most customer-friendly credit card that exists, I think, on the planet. It is the easiest to get credit with. It is very easy. If you got a 650 or somewhere up in there, just start in the maybe the 640s. They like to bring you in. Now, if your credit is very new, they'll bring you in at 6. Then they jump you to 10. I don't know anybody that they'll go to 5. They usually start you either at 600 or 10,000. Then after the 10,000 jump, they take you right to where? 20 to 25. That's only on one, but what you don't know is you can get 3. So I have 25, 25. Actually, I didn't max it. I only got 29. So I got 79. I actually could apply for another 1,000. I've had it so long, I just thought about that. So then you can get 3 cards for 80,000. So you can put 80 on one, 25, 25, however you want to set them up. I just split them up into 3. They are very, 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 very good credit union. Now, I'm not even talking about any other lending products. I'm just talking about helping you get your credit established. So if you got pretty good credit, 650 to 700, or if you're in the 700 club, you definitely need to have Navy Federal. If you're not a member of Navy Federal, we can get you to be a member. You're gonna love it. I'm gonna leave that at that. The next one is Alliant. I may have missed I think that's how they spell it, but that's their phone number. Alliant is if you're in the 700 club and you say, well, I'm very responsible and I know I can take great care of my credit and I'm ready to go. Alliant is the highest limit credit card that one of the highest I've seen. And they're very easy to deal with. This gives you up to $100,000 on one card. That's a credit union. And to become a member, when they ask you, how do you want to become a member? Say, I want to donate $5 to foster care. And you will become a member. You can, if you don't know, I want to donate $5. This is one that you want to have. I mean, because their limits go up to 100,000. You know, for me, it's certain products that you can buy that I'm getting ready to buy. That's why I joined this credit union, because it's something I'm getting ready to buy. That their interest rates are lower. Their car loans are 1.2%. So if you got a car, how many of you here had car interest rates way up here, then you met Mr. Miller and your interest rate went way down? and I laughed at it when they told me the interest rate, and I was like, "That's your interest rate." And they were happy, yeah. And I looked at the interest rate. I said, look, we get ready to cut your car. How much did your car payment go down?
Almost 300.
A month.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, we'll leave it alone. So look,
Wow.
their interest rates are really good too, Navy, but Alliant interest rates are even better.
What we donate to?
Foster care. Just say foster care, that's it. PenFast is another really easy one to get and an easy one to get credit with. You do not have, this is like a Pentagon, a government credit union, but you can join without being a government employee. And then you can do state employee if you like. The reason I'm steering you away from Wells Fargo, Bank of America, is too much qualification. They're not going to give you a lot of money. They're going to start you out, your credit limit's going to be low. You want some high credit limits where you feel like you're responsible, credit unions are the way to go. I have bank cards, but they just, nothing beats credit unions. They're private, I mean, they're non-profits, so they're not in it to make money, they're in it to help their members. Banks are for profit, so they're in it to do what? Make money. So they're here to save you money. So if you want to refinance your car loan or anything like that, I'd have to see what your interest rate. I'd just go to Navy Federal, but you may want to go to Alliant because theirs is even lower. You can go buy a new car at 1.9%.
Got a question. As you know, my son just totaled his vehicle, and so went last week and got him another vehicle.
Well, where'd you get it from? Who financed it?
State credit.
state employee.
Right.
So their interest rate's at 4.65. They got a standard rate on a used and new. Their rates don't, I think it's in the 4%, right? I mean, you have to go look. I have state employee.
Right.
So what was the question? But I want you to leave the state and let somebody else finance. You could have got a better interest rate. You can go to Navy for. We just have to talk because everything is. Look, sometimes one bank may do something for you that another what? Won't. But it's okay. You have to position yourself that all of them will say what? Yes. I don't let a bank tell me no. Because I know who I am. I mean, I just built myself to a place. If I go today and I want to go buy a car, I want to buy another house, I want to buy a building, I want to buy whatever, I'm going to make sure that I'm in a position where they're going to say what? Yeah, and you can get there. But you have to want to what? Get there. Most people just go in and hoping. Oh, let me say a little prayer before I go buy this car. Hallelujah.
Very true. Fix your credit.
They don't want to do no what? The scripture, faith without a word is dead.
That's like, okay,
What is work?
that is so high. I didn't know. Okay, I'm not reading those books.
Instead of like
Yes. Here's what I do. Last question. Let me tell you what I do. Okay. This is a very important strategy that Apostle said. So when I went to buy my house, because I knew it was going to cost some money, I started direct depositing my money in the Navy Federal. And I created a relationship with them. So when I went to get products, it was a lot easier because they saw, I had a relationship. I have another bank for y'all that are in business, which most of y'all will be in business at some point, because I'm going to show you how. I use Fidelity Bank in Shelby. So I just bought some commercial properties I told you guys about. And we got the church there. So we'll be using them. And the first thing he said to me, Tyrone, we get ready to give you a lot of money to do the things you're doing. So we need you to have a what? An account. So I said, well, I got all this, I do a lot of business and personal with Wells Fargo, but I don't do a lot of business anymore with Wells Fargo with business credit card. They gave me a credit card years ago. I never used that thing. But I put a lot of money in that account. So I said, no, I'm going to take that money and put it in what? Fidelity, because guess what Fidelity just did? He just gave me a commercial loan. A line of credit that's pretty doggone good. Make you want to shake your head like that. So I said, y'all can have this over here, because on Monday I go to a closing.
Oh, wow.
To pick up something that makes me feel good. So I want to do business with them. So I said, well, I'll give y'all some of my business because y'all just gave me a business loan for one of my real estate investment deals. So I said, I'm going to do a lot of business with y'all. So I told Matt Triplett, who's the vice president of the bank, you can probably see the text if I can find it. I talked to him about you guys. I said, Matt, I get ready to do a lot of business together, commercial stuff. I said, and I got members of my church, Matt, that are going to need to know how to maneuver this world of commercial loans with their small startup business. They need credit cards, man. They're going to need loans. Some of them are going to become developers where they're going to buy property, and we're going to show them how to develop that property like what I'm doing. You can buy 10 acres of land. I can show you how to buy them with credit. There's so much stuff we can do if we get the time. But anyway, y'all going to develop, so y'all going to be powerful, man. I don't want to pastor a church of people that got the poor mentality.
Amen.
No, that ain't mine. I'm probably gonna have to sit down because I just don't believe we have to stay where we are. So Matt said, Tyrone, I would love to come and meet the members of your church and the folk that you have and be a part of the mentorship. I am the vice president of the bank. It takes my signature to one of them. And how true the fact that this is that Matt didn't just come and start doing business with me. I took Matt to a development project that I'm working on just to test him at the beginning. I said, Matt, I got this property. I'm getting ready to put cabins and houses, and we're building a big retreat. I told you guys about it. It's about 20 acres. It's called Believers Retreat, where nature awaits you.
All right.
And I said, man, I'm building this, it's gonna cost a lot of money, and I need you to come out here and see it before we can even talk business. He's vice president. He said, most certainly I would love to. That's how he asked me. I said, okay. I said, when can you be there? He told me when he come. I said, so when he got there, he had a little suit on. I said, man, we got to walk the whole property. I didn't have a little ATV or Jeep. He said, let's go. And he came back and sat with me in one of the houses that we have. Who's been over to Believers Retreat? Raise your hand. Some of y'all already been there. So he went and he sat with me there and he spent some time. And I said, now this is the guy I want to do what? Business with. And he said, Tyrone, I said, Matt, why do I want to do business with you guys? I know why I want to do business with them because I like the way he do things. I said, well, why should I take my business to you guys? He said, because I'm the guy. He said, if you go to Wells Fargo and all those other places, you don't get this. He said, I'm the loan officer, I'm the loan everything. He said, I'm the one that takes, and take your deal to make sure the deal goes through. So I said, well, I like that. But I said, man, it's not about me. I said, how do we help other people, man? I said, because if I have this knowledge, it's going to do me any good if I can't help other people. I want successful people around me. Because guess what? I may have a deal that I can call you, but if you ain't got no credit, no money, then I ain't looking for you. I'm like, man, I sure like to do business with Big Daddy, but everybody else is screaming broke. But if everybody's screaming, I got good credit, I got money, and they learning how to empower their lives, guess what? Then we can start doing stuff together.
Building together.
So anyways, I said all that to say that, Apostle, that is a beautiful point that you made. So what I am going to do with Fidelity is start to take my money there. Why? Because can you imagine having a relationship within a month and the people finance your church, they finance your properties that you're buying and everything? Just like that. They're open, they're a community bank, and I love them, and I want to turn you guys on that's interested in your businesses that you're going to be doing with this particular bank so you can get to that place. Now, look, everything I'm saying is hard work. I started a business 17 years ago with Miss Miller. We've been at it 17 years later. Some of y'all you work with that company. Some of y'all been with us for years, right? So that's a lot of work, but it works. Business works. Trust me. If you're willing to do the work, it can work. It can give you a lifestyle that you want. It can give you the things in life you want. Some of the people that work with me, they do pretty well. Say amen.
Amen.
That's just for me. We put the business together, and 17 years later, same people still eat.
And I can actually attest to that because I used to visit them, and whenever I would go over, all I would see is the plan, paperwork. I mean, it was all over, spread all over the living
Just like
room.
yours gonna be.
Right.
But let me tell you, and I'm gonna shift this here. I have to say this here because I'm gonna be sharing a lot of information in these workshops. People only say things for you for two reasons. I used to be the first reason because I wanted to impress somebody. I'm transparent. I used to be me. You say things, oh, I got this and I got that. People used to say those things. How many of you know people say stuff to impress you? Say amen.
Amen.
Then you got another group of people. They will say things to you because they want to impress upon you.
Right.
You never forget why people are talking to you. It's very important. Are they trying to impress you? Or are they trying to impress upon you? If they're trying to impress upon you, then you're going to know it because they're going to be trying to share and give. If they're trying to impress you, they're just going to be talking about what they got. With no indication of how you can what? Give. So realize I'm not here on a Saturday because I need to impress anybody. I've already gotten certain things that I need in my life because I worked for it. Now I'm at a place where I want to impress upon somebody how you can have what I have or what you perceive me to have, but I want you want people to have more than what you have. I really do. I want to see how people can have more than what. Okay, so that's why I'm doing this here, because I want to impress upon you that just because you were here don't mean you have to stay there.
Right.
I will share this last story. We're going to move on. I was a school teacher when I met her. And her income, she don't mind me, you mind if I say, her income was 6 figures 15 years ago. And I was making $38,000. I had a degree from the University of Miami. And here this young lady was making 6 figures and I was making 38,000. And she looked at my check and started laughing. And I was mad. I was like, I'm working on the right alternative with these hard kids. And I was like, and then she said, well, I said, how you do that? She said, well, I'm in this particular field and I do this particular work. She said, I tell you what, if you're willing to learn it, I'll give you some clients. I'll give you my 2 clients. And she had 2 clients. I only got one of them honored. And that was my first one client. And I stayed at that thing for 17 years later. And that thing has fed me for 17 years. So business works. You know, and I thank God I could have listened to her thinking she was trying to impress me. She wasn't trying to impress me. She was trying to impress upon her brother. Look, you went to college, to the most expensive college, and you ain't making for $38,000. Not that that's not a lot of money, guys. Don't take me wrong when I say this here, because for some people $38,000 is $1 million. I'm just talking about for me spending $150,000 to go to the University of Miami. I had a different level of expectation. That wouldn't help me pay no student loans, car payments, and all that. But your $38,000, you may not need it to make what I make. It's all based on your what? Your responsibilities, right? I had responsibilities back then. I had a kid, I had car payments, student loan, and I didn't have enough money to make it all. So I got into business, and thank God I did. And I look back and I'm like, Lord, I'm glad that
May she help you?
she opened my what? So guess what I want to do? Open your what? Because you'll be looking back down the road saying, ooh, I'm so glad I did it.
Right.
So anyway, I'm not going to specifically get into different parts of credit. You got this packet. We'll do it next time we meet. You're going to buy these what? Books. And then you're going to write down all your beautiful questions. You're going to buy these books. See, this is going to tell me how serious you are. Because you're going to say, well, I ain't got the money. That's the first thing people like to what? Well, you keep saying. I don't live that way. I even when I don't have, I don't ever say, I don't what? First of all, if you're going to be around me and we're going to be building wealth and we're going to be talking about success and credit or whatever it is, stop talking about what we don't what. If Jesus Christ is your brother and your father is the God of the universe and he sent you to have dominion, stop saying what you don't what. Have. Just don't say what.
Nothing.
I can't. Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Don't say it. Look, will it change your circumstance? Will it change your circumstance if you say it?
You'll change your mentality.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Stop doing that. You know, stop.
Yeah, you're right.
What my wife would tell you, I rode by a building and I looked at the building. What did I say?
I want it.
I ain't say I want. I said I wanted it first. Then I said what?
No, once you saw, like once you pulled up to it, you always, every time you pass it, because you've been passing it for over a year when we first got the Shelby property. But then when I don't know, you finally ended up pulling over, and once you pulled over and started checking it out,
That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
That was
You
it.
said, I'm getting it.
I'm getting it. I said I want it. Then I went from want to what? Boy, do that to yourself, and it's gonna make you wake up in the middle of the night. Ooh, I see that Honda.
Yes, I do.
Honda gonna be like this here. Piece of tape it in the dealership. Hanging on the Honda. That's when you're gonna get real serious. I'm gonna talk to who the president of CEO Honda. Look, I'm believing God. Are you believing God? Do you want to donate? I don't know if God is speaking to your heart. Trust me, when you get to that place in your life where you have gotten that level of faith, I'm telling you, you can think this is a game, you can think it's a gimmick, you can think whatever you want to think. But I'm successful because of my faith in the promise that God has given us. That's all I'm going to say. Now, let's move on. So, any more questions about credit? I'm going to separate the next meeting just to do one or the other, but this one, I kind of did both, right? So, but I'm not going to do that next time. But I just want to answer questions related to credit. But I think what I want you to do now is to go buy these 3 books. Missionaries gonna make, I made packets for you. Every question and answer you could ever imagine about credit, I've already put together for you. So I'm not gonna teach you about it right now. And I'll make myself available at some point in time for you personally. Brother Terry's gonna go and apply for those 2 what? Credit cards. For those of you guys that have good credit, you got 3 companies there. If you don't have an account with Navy Federal, I'm gonna make sure that you what? You get one. And then PenFast and Alliant credit unions. Alliant, just say you're gonna donate $5 to foster care. PenFast, you don't have to do anything. PenFed, I'm sorry. And for those that don't have good credit, because you're working on it, you're not gonna apply for what? Anything. You're gonna go get these books so we can start learning how to get your stuff cleaned up. Do not apply for anything because you're not gonna get what? No, I'm gonna say you're not, but you don't even wanna get approved yet.
No.
You wanna get your stuff together. You wanna set a goal for yourself in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, in the next year. I'm gonna get myself in a position where I can buy a house. I'm gonna get myself in a position where I can do whatever I wanna do. I wanna buy a new car. I wanna buy some investment properties. I don't know what you wanna buy. You're not gonna go do anything but work on that. And that's what we're gonna be dealing with.
I got a question.
Yes.
And it's not to you, it's the first lady. What's a good website to look at land? That'll help me out.
I'll write some down for you.
Okay.
For which one?
Right.
Looking up land.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a whole other class we'll have because I want you guys to learn about tax deed auctions and how to buy tax certificates and things like that because that's what I did. Okay. You know, I bought tax deed certificates. People couldn't pay their taxes, so I went and bought their certificates. I mean, the real estate is a whole other class. But, all right, now.
Pastor, one
Yes,
question.
ma'am.
You said you can, like, somebody you can trust, you can give them a credit card. How is that helping you by them paying that credit card?
No. Okay. There are certain people that are attached to us, right, that we love.
Yes.
So I have certain people that's attached to me that I want them to what? Win.
Okay.
So I'm willing to take a chance on them with it. So I leave myself out of how it's going to help me because when I do that, I'm trying to do what? Help them. So what I do with them, I should have brought the other stack. I have a stack of credit cards like this at my house in my drawer with different names of people that I know that I gave them a line of credit for me. I never gave them the card. I just put them on my account. But
They
I
don't
never
actually
issued
get the
them the what?
card.
No.
Card.
Never.
I got these many cards. Some of them got $50,000 worth of my credit. Another one may have $100,000 because they all in different situations. So one may have $5,000, one may have $2,000. But these are people that I love. I won't go do it just for anybody, and I don't suggest you do it either. Now here's what can happen. Last thing about credit, because we got to move on. You don't want somebody to give you a line of credit if they are not responsible. So when I give somebody one of my credit cards to give them that line, that trade line we call it, I say, look, I've had this account for 17 years. First of all, I have no late payments in the history of my credit. I've never been late. If you pull my credit report, most of the time, I think last time I pulled it, this time I just don't have time. I'll let you see it, I'm transparent. I have no late payments and no balances on none of my accounts. So I say, well, let's pick this one here. I've had this for 17 years. You can see I've never been late for 17 years, and the balance is 0. I'm gonna give you that. Because if I give you something and it's been late 20 times, now you've been late 20 times. So be careful who you take stuff from.
Okay.
Second thing, if I give you this card and I had it for 17 years, and I've never been late, but it's 10,000, I'm using 9,000, now you got 90% debt utilization that followed you.
Right.
So it's not that allowing somebody to help you is the right thing.
Right.
You got to see who you getting the what from to help.
Right.
Everybody that's out to try to help you really not help you. Sometimes they can be hurting you thinking they trying to what? Help you. So that's why if somebody gonna help you and they got a trade line, you got to make sure you helping them with the right card. Okay, I'm never gonna use this one that much. Do I want to give it to them? Don't give it to them. I just gave somebody my, different people, different cards. Some I give and some I don't. So it's not about you when you get ready to help somebody.
Right.
It's no longer about you.
So will that card be in their name?
It'll be in their name at my house.
It's really his card.
And they got 17 years of my
I don't
credit.
blame you. Don't let
Or
them.
10 or 5.
People do that and they charge like thousands.
They have your excellent
Because
credit.
they know it builds your
They
credit.
have your trade line. Yeah.
But I didn't know.
So let's say
What it
Tisa,
meant,
I'm just
I
making
know,
an
me
example.
either.
Let's say
Then I
Tisa
learned
have 2 or 3 great
listening,
cards.
that's basically what
She
they
can
do.
give you that.
They put you on
Now
their account.
let's move on. I want to move on. Let me tell you how this really works. Let me give you a live testimony. Sister Shawan, you mind if I put you on the spot? We just being transparent. All right, good. You late. Now you get You just bought a what? Did you buy it with anybody?
No,
Did you have good credit?
not at the beginning.
But when you bought the house, you had what? So she got and she didn't get, and Jazz just bought her what?
Wow.
House. She not here, she bought her house. She came to me one day, and I can say this, I hope she watches. I don't know what I would do, but credit them. I said, look, are you a believer? Yeah, I said, then stop crying. I'm getting off the phone. This is depressing to me. Either you believe or you don't believe it. Don't be crying to me. Go cry to somebody else. Pastor probably let you do it. Look, Pastor won't let maybe Minister Celeste let you do it. So you know what? No, I'm just teasing because I know the answer with that. So she stopped crying. I said, let's just get it done.
Yeah.
Whatever we have to do, let's just stay focused on the mission. She said, okay. Now she got her house. Look. It ain't gonna just happen. It's work. It's hard work. It's work. It's work. It's work. It's work. It's work. But Minister Celeste just showed me her credit. She almost at the 800 club. I was looking at it. I was like, oh Lord. Went up my 100 points. She talking about herself. People need to hear the live one. They need to know like, okay, she almost at 800. She can tell you. I ain't gonna tell you where about a while back, because she told me, I was like, oh Lord, you need some help. And it wasn't because she did anything wrong. Sometimes your utilization will mess you up. And it's those things that we don't what?
No.
Address, because I know I've needed help at different times. So we're done with credit unless there's another question. I want to talk about business briefly.
Can I ask you just one
Yes.
question? So you saying we need to get our credit report and then write down the bills that we got in debt, or
Okay.
in order to get everything? at least a
Homework.
good bit?
Homework. Let's do this here. Order these what? Invest in yourself. $50, $20. If you can't figure out how to get it, then call somebody. You got to get this book. If your situation's that bad, you got to get the book. Somebody will give you the money to get the book. Somebody will plant a seed. Trust me. You'll figure out. You'll call everybody to somebody plant that what? Somebody here probably plant it. If you that hungry to get the book. So get these 3 what? Books. That's number 1. Number 2, I gave you the 1-800 number to what? Experience. Call them and order all 3 of your credit what? Report. Somebody gonna help you do that. You have got to get your 3 credit reports. You want the score in the reports. You want them to mail it to you, because the next workshop we have, we can then go around and analyze, right? We already got letters and everything, but we need to know. If you don't know what's going on, how you gonna fight it?
Right. Makes sense.
All right, and then the third thing is, we got the book, we got that. Then you're gonna get this what? While you're waiting on the book, I already made a packet for you. It's free. Missionary, can you make 15 of these? You're gonna get a packet while you're waiting on the book to what? Come. Everything that you need is already in the packet. You're gonna do the work at first. All right.
Not on Amazon.
Now, yeah, we'll find somebody. Sister Jamisa find out how to get all 3 of them, and then she'll send it to me, right? She's sharp like that. All right. The third thing is, for you guys that are already in a situation like Brother Terry, and some of y'all that's already got good credit, like Mission. Some of y'all that got good credit, you just want to get more for whatever reason, or you want to refinance a car or whatever. Just join all 3 of these credit unions. We can talk later, but I would make sure if you're not with Navy Federal, I get you signed up. And the other 2 you can do on your own. Just get those 3, and then we can talk because you may want to refinance a car or whatever, like Sister Glow, she told you. When she met me, she gave me her interest rate on her car. I said, Sister Glow, right away, I'm gonna get you signed up with Navy Federal. I'm gonna get your payment down by 100, what did I tell you? $100 and something. And it was exactly. I just laughed. I said, your payment gonna go down by 100 something. Just this.
This man point, they said, oh no. I'm like, oh, that ain't good.
But possible.
Knowledge,
No. Her percentage rate. But if you don't know, you don't what?
No.
She couldn't sign up with Navy because she wasn't a member, and the only way you can sign up as a member has to sign you up. So automatically, I knew that I could what? Help her lower her score by, her car payment by $100 and something. I saw so much that I could do, but she had to trust me, right? I didn't get anything from it, but I did get a lot because now my sister get to save $160 or whatever it was a month.
But I refinanced my car through Navy Federal, and I was trying to go through it. They actually raised my interest rate.
I don't know why, but you have to put, look, do you
Okay.
have all three of your reports? Do you have them printed out where we can analyze? No, so you do all that.
On my credit.
Huh?
But I'm gonna pull it, but I don't have nothing on my credit, like,
But
but
listen,
I'm gonna make sure.
It's something.
not having anything on your credit, that's what you say. Let me tell you something. Always say when it comes to credit, that's what you say.
Yeah.
Show me the evidence.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
I don't go on what I think, because that's what, you didn't have anything the last time you what? Check. Okay. I don't have nothing. I say since the last time you what? Check. Right now, let's go to this here. Let me get the three forms of the business packet right quick. I want to talk about these three things, and then I'm done. Yeah, I want that, and then I want this. It's all in your email. I emailed everybody everything.
Okay.
I want to just talk about these two things. How many of you here have a business already that you, because I'm talking to two people, two groups, maybe three. How many of you guys here already have a business? Raise your hand. Raise them high because I can't see. Okay, how many of you, okay, put those out. How many of you guys in here are ready to start your business? Raise your hand. Raise them high so I can see. Okay. How many of you guys in here, you don't know yet if you want to, but you want to learn more? Raise your hand. Okay, so that's good. So most of you guys, only three have a business, and then the rest want to start. So let me just go to this group first. For you guys that already have a business, we're going to do workshop just on that group. I have given you something that's a nugget. I have emailed you. Everybody should raise your hand if you all got the emails I sent out just now. If you don't have an email before you leave here, all the packet, we can send it to you. In that email is a business plan template. Everybody say borrow to build.
Borrow to build.
Borrowing to build.
Borrowing to build.
That's the word. Never stealing, never taking, but what?
Borrowing to build.
So I'm gonna let you borrow for me to do what?
Build.
That's what it's called. So I've given you a big old business plan packet with instructions where you're gonna go through this business plan template. It is already done for you, and you're gonna put your information in it. So you can do edit, find, replace. So you can go find, replace where it says company name. You're going to go edit, find, and then write in company name and replace. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. You'll figure it out. It's pretty simple. In this plan, it's just going to have everywhere in the plan. It's just going to say company what? So you're going to go up into the computer. There's a place where it says find, and then you just hit that button and it's going to tell you to type in what you want to find. So you type in company what? Name. Then it's going to have right under there replace. Replace, you're going to put in your company what?
Name.
For those that's already in what? Business. So now you already have your business plan complete.
Wow.
So you'll just go in and doctor this up to modify it to fit your particular what? Business needs. Then all of the financial statements are there already templated out. So you just go in that template and modify that template to fit your business. For you guys that's in business, it'll be a little bit easier for once you see it. But what it gives you is a plan for your business and the financials for your business. Now, I can go back and give you companies that can go do all the market research for you later. But for now, this is just a good start if you're in business. So you have a template for your what? Business. You should spend some time filling this out. And I'm going to give you a couple examples. Your name, address, your executive summary, your company overview, your market overview, your market size, your targeted customers. It's gonna make you answer what? Particular questions. So executive summary, start with one concise, 1 or 2 line explanations of your business, such as, we are an organic restaurant located in Miami, Florida. We operate a social networking website. We are a software development company. We are the world's largest or premier, whatever company, cookie company, whatever, I don't know, sweets company or bakery, whatever you want to call yourself. But here are some examples. And you'll just go through this. Everything is an example, and you can rewrite it to fit what it is that you do. It's too much to kind of go through all this. So I'm just saying, for those 3 of us, 1, 2, and who's the third one? Jameis. Here's y'all business plan. Your financial statements are already there. It's an absorbent amount of work already done. You can have it because you're borrowing to what? Who just go?
I think.
Okay. If you're already in business, I print that up. Now, and take the instruction because it's going to tell you how to fill that and pack it up. That's not most of us, right? Look, it's nothing wrong with owning a company. I love it. I love the fact that we're going to have entrepreneurs at Faith Destiny Outreach next year. I want to go over this quickly. All right, we got to go in a few minutes. There are different types of business structures. What I did is just put them all down here together. And I'm going to go through them quickly. Some of y'all are going to set up LLCs. You can read about it. Some of y'all are going to set up corporations. I'm going to push most of y'all, or not push you. I'm going to do more talking about the corporation. A corporation is like a legal entity, like a McDonald's, right? If I go in McDonald's and I slip and fall, who am I going to sue? If I went to your food truck and you owned it, and I can't use that as an example. But if McDonald's wasn't a corporation, you went in that restaurant, and I was the sole owner of that corporation, you walked in and you slipped and fell, who do you think you're going to sue? Person. Once you turn it into a corporation, you go after the what? Corporation. A corporation is a legal entity. It's a person. That's why when people say, I'm going to sue Burger King, Wendy's, they never go say, I'm going to sue the shareholders. They always say they're going to sue the what? The company. That's why you want to set up a what? A company. Because it protects you as a person. So if somebody come after me, they don't come after me, they come after the what? Company. Now, I'm an owner of the company, but you got to sue the company. I'll close the company down before I let you get something from me. Right? I'll dissolve the corporation. So it's like a veil between the 2 of us. You can't get to me, you got to go to it, to McDonald's, before you can get to who's behind it. So that's the importance of having a corporation versus what we call a proprietorship. A proprietorship is a sole owner. I mean, you the owner, you got 100% of the liability. I don't like that thing. I like a corporation. Then you got the LLC. I'll talk about later. That's a little bit more complicated. Well, that's not really, but the only thing about an LLC versus a corporation has stockholders. So how many of you guys say, I'm going to buy stock in McDonald's? You can buy stock in McDonald's, but you cannot buy stock in the LLC because they can only have managing members. So they have members as opposed to shareholders. That's the real difference. Well, there's other differences too, but I don't want to go into all that. I'll just say the difference is you can't buy shares. So if I had an LLC called McDonald's, it was set up as an LLC, and you wanted to invest in it, you couldn't. You'd have to become a member of that LLC, but you have to buy a part of the LLC versus buy stocks. It's too much to say right now because I can see your face. But we're going to talk about how to set up a corporation. A legal person, your own business, or in Evangelist Shawan, we're going to talk about how to set up a 501c3. A 501c3. Now, a 501c3 is a non-profit. I've had a 501c3 now since 2011. When I set my first 501c3 up, I set it up myself. I always like to borrow to what? Build. So what I did, I'm giving you knowledge that, boy, it took my whole life to learn. I called the IRS, grabbed the application, and sat with the application in one hand and the computer in the other. and we filled it out over the phone together, me and the IRS. I had already had it filled out. I said, well, what go on that line there? Well, what about this one? I put this in. You think that's gonna be okay? Well, you don't have me on here. Well, I know we about finished, but we still got a few more to go, man. I wasn't paying. I wanted to what? Knowledge speak. The extent of knowledge is not what we know, but can we find the what? Answers. And I'm an answer finder. So I went to the IRS and I had them fill out the 1023 application. Guess what a 1023 application is for you guys? In your what? Emails. That's what I sent out this morning with the business plan and everything else that I emailed you. Now here's what I'm gonna do. When you ready to set up, Swan, your push movement, which you will, because you can't be sitting on that, I'm gonna give you my 501c3 what? Application. And you're gonna go in there and find, edit, I'm gonna take out my tax ID number, and you're just gonna look at everything I filled out as your what? Guide. You don't have to create anything. It's gonna take us about an hour maybe to fill yours out, send it in. I'm gonna have to put all of the expedite letters, your articles, and your bylaws, and all the other stuff I'm gonna give you. You're gonna save a lot of money. So all I needed you to do is to come up with your name. And then we're gonna have that workshop where, I don't know who else want to do a nonprofit, but I know Shawan will. We got 2. So we'll set those up with those groups separately, right? What I need you to do is go online, pull the SS4 application that I sent you, and just fill it out. And then I'll help you to maneuver that form. It's about a 20-page form. It seems intimidating, but it's very simple. I do it for fun. Right? I've done it for a lot of folks. They go, oh, I don't know how to. Just relax. Stop saying you don't know how to do anything, because that's what you're gonna what? Attract. You're gonna attract more of that into your life. The extent of knowledge is not what we what? No. But can we what? Can we?
Yes.
That's the way we gotta live. So for that group, we got the business plan for the folk that's already in business, right? Now for those that are getting ready to start their companies, man, I started my first business back when I came out of college, and I thought it was so hard. I was like, ooh, I could have my own company. Until I realized how simple it is. My daughter, who's 9 years old, can fill this out. This is how simple it is to become a corporation. Now, I'm not saying it's that simple to run it, but this is it. I mean, it's more, but I gotta make it simple for you, right? This is the application. I've sent it to you in your email. It's called the Articles of Incorporation. You're gonna read this form, and it's gonna say, what is the name, what is the address, who's the registered agent, mean who's registered for this company, which is you, how many shares. I gotta explain all this later, so don't worry about it, don't let it intimidate. You got common and preferred stock, so you're just gonna say common stock, and then you're gonna make up a number of shares that you want your company to have. I can teach you that later based on par values. You'll make up, something I have to teach you, right? But it's simple stuff. But even if you don't understand any of that, I'm gonna show you how to fill this out, and then it's gonna ask who your officers, who your board of directors, and it could just be you. Your corporation could just be one what? A proprietorship is one person. But an LLC has, you have your managing members and your members. What I love about a corporation, you only have to have one person. McDonald's can be one person. I own 5 corporations now. And 3 of the ones I just set up over the last 5 or 6 years, I'm the only single owner. I have a real estate investment company. Actually, I have 2 real estate companies that I own. I have a company called We Branded, which is a new company that we just set up where we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. I have a retail outlet store that I'm opening now called Discount World, and then some other business interests. And then a lot of them, I'm a corporation, but it's just me. Now each of those companies, that's all I did. I just filled these 2 forms out, and I said, Miss Miller's getting ready to open up her corporation. I can't wait. I can't wait to invest in it. I can't wait to be a part of it. Event planning and all the stuff I see her doing, like CDM Enterprise. See, that's why I brought these forms for her. I'm like, sis, you have rented so many tables, and chairs and tablecloth. Why would you keep doing that? And you got all these talented people. Oh, we get ready to make some money. Kingdom comes. So she gonna start C&M Enterprises. She gonna fill CGM Enterprise, CDM, CD Enterprises, specializing in party rental, blah blah blah. Okay, now, so she gonna go home and simply fill us out. Okay, this is how you get your EIN number. Okay, every company, you know, you have a social security number attached to you, right?
Right.
Y'all have a social security number, right?
Yes.
Your company does too. They just call it EIN, employee identification. Same as the social security. This number is what you need to get your Dun & Bradstreet to go ahead and start getting your business credit. We'll talk about it later. Look, everybody here gonna have good credit if you really want to, and you're gonna have business credit. And I'll show you how to build your business credit, because we gotta get you a Dun number, because you don't know how to get one. You just got a business with no Dun, with no credit, no nothing. Oh, but that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're gonna get you right. No, every corporation that I own have a different employee identification number. Every one that I have a different EIN number. Now, if you're gonna set up sometimes people will have a corporation and they'll have a doing business as a DBA. You know, CMN Enterprise is doing business as blah, blah, blah. So they all fall under that one enterprise, which is that same tax ID number. Me, I don't like everything I do under one company, because if I lose that business, I sell that business, I get a partner in that business, whatever happens with that business, they get a piece of all of it. Like, I had a friend of mine want to invest with me last month. And he got some money. So he wanted to invest, but if I'd have let him invest in this one particular entity, he would have a part of everything. So what I do is every interest that I have as a business, I have that business, that bank account, that EIN number, that credit, that everything. So each of my companies run separate. I got the same CPA, same accounting firm. I think in your case, these other ones I haven't set up yet, but I'll end up having the same payroll company, and I just run them all like as separate entities. Look, once you learn this thing, it seems like a lot, but it's just like anything else. You just don't know, so anything you don't know seems like it's what? Go tell me to bake a cake, I'll freak out. I'm like, okay, what do I do? Okay, if you show me, you say, okay, Miss Miller, you got this here, and you put the eggs and the milk and this, and the bake got to be on it, then I'll learn. Nothing is really hard. It's just that we don't what? No. And people say, oh, that's so hard. No, it isn't. You just don't want it. No, so business is no different. None of this stuff is hard. I'm telling you, I've been doing this most of my life. Business is it's just whether you want to do it. I choose to want to do it. I like the credit because I like access to other people's money. I like business because I like to be my own boss.
Other people's money.
Now, I don't need everybody going around being your own boss, because somebody got to work for somebody. And here's the other thing. You can still be your own boss and still work with other what? Other companies. You can do both. People think, oh, I got to have one or the other. Do both. I tell people, work for me, still make all that money with me, and then go make somewhere else. I don't care. That's what you want to what? And if you don't want to do it, that's still what? Okay, I'll hire you to continue to work for things I do. It ain't for everybody. Missionary like home interior decorating. I want her to set up her home interior decorating company where you just become a consultant on the weekends. You got your own C. Robinson consultants, you know, and you just, so now you got time because she don't have to go out, and she got a stable employment, so now she can set up her company and market herself out there on the web, and then as she get her company, her customers and realtors that she's going to work with, she'll go in on the weekend and help them do the interior design with all these realty companies. She's going to get with all the realtors, all of the brokers that's out here, all in North Carolina, South Carolina, just travel with it. I'll just work it out. All right, anything else? Yes, we're going to end in a minute. Boss, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have a question. Okay, I have a EIN number registered with Dun & Bradstreet.
Is it under corporation? Okay.
Not, well, I have LLC.
No, you can, if you know, I mean, I don't deal with LLCs, but I would keep it as an LLC if that's what you want. Is it an active or inactive business? So, it ain't gonna do you no good. If the business not making you money or don't have you credit, then it's just what? You still have a fiduciary or finance, I mean, a legal, whenever I say fiduciary, a legal responsibility if you make less than $7,000 to file, or more than $7,000 to file taxes. And they're gonna dissolve you with the Secretary of State if you don't file your annual report. So it may just be a waste of your time to have something that you're not doing anything with. Because you're gonna be dissolved, administratively dissolved after a year if you didn't file your annual report, which is only $20. It takes you about 30 seconds. I can show you how to file it. You just go on the Secretary of State website. So having something and not doing anything with it other than credit in business is a waste of time. So what are you gonna do with the business, number one? And why aren't you doing anything? It's because you don't know how, you don't have the resources. So you gotta figure all that out, right? So the EIN number will always be good, but once the corporation is dissolved, now in order to reactivate it, you're gonna have to pay administrative fees versus you calling to do it on your own. Now, did I answer your question? But you wanna have a company and actually do what? Start making what? Yeah, don't just get one and say, well, I got a company now. No, let's keep coming to workshop. All right, I'm about done. I want to show you one thing. Go ahead and ask questions if you have something.
I just got a quick question, to what Apostle just said. So, I just did my annual report for another business, right? Because I didn't do it at the time they said it, so I will have to pay fees?
No, you just call it, okay. Let me show you this. So you may not, I can't answer, it depends on how long it's been. If it's not been administratively dissolved, you probably don't have to. But you need to call this number here for you all. Let me just give you something. So you're gonna call 919, North Carolina Secretary of State, you're gonna call 919-814-5400. And you're gonna say, here's the name of my company. Do I need to file an annual report? Do I have any fees? And that's it. Just keep pushing zero to get to it. Do you have, just call that number, they'll tell you.
Oh, this is for.
Can you say that number again?
919-81, what did I say?
814.
All right, but let me show you this here. All right, I want to show this here. Look, this is just an overview. I know it's questions, but I want to show you one thing. Oh, that's South Carolina. So everybody while we're waiting to start our business, what I want everybody to do. I want you to go to NC Secretary of State Business Search. NC for North Carolina, Secretary of State Business Search. Here's where the first place you want to start. We got a lot of work to do and a lot of stuff to learn, of course, right? This is going to let you know if your name is available. So Celestia says she's going to do CMN Enterprise, right? CNM. Okay, so let's put in here CDM, right? Enterprise. Enterprise. All right, so CDM Enterprise, and I did a search. So it says CDM Enterprise, legal name. It's a limited liability corporation, administratively dissolved in 2005. And then you got another one, CDM Business Search. So it may be, look right here, that name may not be what? So what she's going to do is call 1-819-814-5400. I see one place it was administratively dissolved, but right underneath it says CDM legal name. So you may have to see if it's still available. So let me give you, for example, what I mean by that. So I have a company called Realty Investors Group. That's one of my companies. So if you push in there, what does it say? It shows that, you can't really see, it shows that there's a name out there. Otherwise it'll say available. So when I click on it, then you can find out the registered agent, if you can see this, say Tyrone Miller. So it shows that I own this company. You can find all the stuff about my company just by clicking this button. It says my name here, so I can. You got my. You know, I don't take all that. Too much info. But that's what you want to do when you're looking at what? a name, go in there and see if it's what. So Shawan wants to do push move. Last one, and we're gonna end this on this note. I know you don't mind. Send it to everybody. All right, Sister Shawan has and also give them the phone number so they can call and register with their portal if they want to start a credit repair business. It's worth paying the fee. Then you get all the forms online so you can send out all of the dispute letters. All that stuff is created. You just go put your name in and print the letters for a couple dollars. I mean, you got a whole credit repair business. All right, look. So look right here. So Shawan push movement, it says search, so no name came up. So that means that her push movement or push foundation. So a lot of times when you got nonprofit, I like to put foundation. So she can go ahead and start the push foundation as far as the name is concerned. Now we got to fill out her nonprofit forms, which is her 1023 application that I'm gonna help her do. And Sister Lena who wants to do a nonprofit. So they're gonna do it. You guys just did one. Were I able to help you guys? Did we do all the form? Y'all did it? I reviewed the packet, they give you everything? Did you have to pay anything? Did you get your dissolved letter, your bylaws, your articles, everything you need you got, right? You sent it to the house. How long did it take us? Not long. Did you send it to the IRS?
Okay, but it was a poor reason. But we'll talk about it.
I'm getting all excited with the testimony at the end of it. We just so guess what she's getting ready to do. Guess what she's gonna have to do now? She's gonna sit with Sister Shawan and give her a copy and review everything that Sister Shawan did. I already know how to do it. I showed her how to do it. Now she got to go show Sister Shawan. Guess what Sister Shawan's gonna do? Show Sister Lena. I signed up you with Navy Federal, right? Did I sign? No, I signed Shawan, and did she sign you up? Okay, since you messed up, now you got to go shine Sister Missionary. See, guess what we're doing in here? I don't have to help you anymore. I done helped her to help her to help her to help. This one, that one, so I can tell anybody else now to go what? So if a new member is coming in and they need to start a business, do you think I'm gonna be sitting there doing it? I'm gonna point. Okay, you go with the new members business workshop. I'm gone. If y'all need me, then you just call me to come in. I can call one of my attorneys. I can call the bank president. I'll make the calls, but I'm just sitting back now. I'm gonna empower you to empower what? Others. Well, I don't have to do anything but just sit back like the CEO. Because that's what building God's kingdom is all what? All of us empowering what?
Each other.
One another. All right, so now, missionary, come church on Sunday, I'm going to be there. Did you get your Navy Federal set up? Because I know that was something I was supposed to do. Now since she didn't send her 501c3 back, she got to do it. And look, I don't even have to tell her how to do it because guess what? She already was. You're going to become a member. Call me when you become a member in the next 2 hours. Because it only takes 30 minutes, I mean about 15 minutes to do it.
Right.
Any other business questions? Now, look, this was just an over what? View. So in your, let me go over this one last time, we're done. In your email, if you don't have it, because you didn't, Apostle or the young lady back there, we have sent out emails that have a lot of good information, whatever. In there, you should have a business plan for those that's already in business and a sample template for financial statements. You don't have to kill yourself looking at them, just look at them. They're self-explanatory if you're in business, but we can work on those things, right? For those of you that's trying to start a business, you're going to go to the NC Secretary of State website and just see if the name's available. NC Secretary of State Business Search. Just make sure. Then you're going to fill these 2 forms out. That's it. Don't do anything else. You don't have to think about anything. This explains what you're doing. You're going to set up a corporation. But just fill these out and then you'll get with me.
Okay.
That's all you gotta do, just say, I'm gonna fill my corporation packet out. It's only 3 pages you have to do. And we're gonna do this one online. The SS4 is gonna be done online, it's free. I'm gonna take you to the IRS website, and we're gonna go irs.gov, for you that's savvy that can do it, irs.gov, and then you're gonna write in they got a search bar, you're gonna put SS4 online. And it's gonna bring this form up that you filled out, and you're just gonna simply fill it out online. Your articles of incorporation, which is your application to become a corporation, you're gonna fill it out. Then I'm gonna show you how to fill it out on what? Online. So to set your company up may take you, I don't know, 30 minutes. Now to run your business is a different question. But to set it up is just the start. I'm gonna give you access to my CPAs, attorneys, whatever you may need. You know, they'd love to have more business.
Does the AFL fit into personal business?
No, that doesn't.
So how would you incorporate that into a business?
If you were doing like AFL with us, how would you incorporate that? You could write off things with that, with the fact that you're a provider. You could take your house in different areas of your rooms. You could take your earned income tax credit. Each recipient, as long as they've been in your house for 6 months or more, you could write off, like, if they've been in your house 6 months, then you get their earned income credit for that. If your house is 1,000 square feet and you're using 250 square feet of that house to run the AFL business, to do all your paperwork and stuff, you can write that off. So if your mortgage is $1,000 and you got 1,000 square feet house, now I'm writing off $250 a month for that space. I'm writing my gas off. I'm writing my cell phone off. So you get the write-off portion of it as a business entity, but not a business because it can't run separate outside of a licensed mental health agency.
Right.
But you can't get all the write-offs. So I'm writing off my cell phone. I'm writing off my car. I'm taking my house, writing that off. I'm writing off everything I can. But that in itself can't be a separate business entity. To become what we're doing, national accreditation, and it took me 17 years to get to this place. So I tell people, can you do what I do? Yeah. You just gotta have a lot of money and a lot of time.
Question, is there can you put up a list of the ones that are in business right now? Because as some of you already know, I'm one that I'm gonna do my best to invest in your business some kind of way. I don't care if I buy something, but I just know.
She's supposed to have. Look at her. All
Uh-oh.
in this day, we come against the spirit of procrastination. No longer with the spirit of procrastination. Live with our sister Deborah. I went out and bought you a what? Did you have a bulletin board? No. Did I bring it over here? Where did we say we were gonna put it? Who's supposed to do it?
Oh,
Dude, Pastor
I'm
supposed to
moving
do
from
it.
this
Well,
one.
hold on, let me ask you what. Did Pastor go get the bulletin board?
Oh,
How many times did Pastor mention the bulletin board? A lot. So she just waiting on the new church. But give it a hand on our sister. God is doing something today. She getting ready to help her help somebody else. She getting ready to set up her car on Saturday. Then she get ready to put up the what? Bulletin board. No, but then she gonna put up what? The name of the what? It's up and nothing. She gonna add to it. So she gonna add to what? The people that's in business, tell her, give her your flyer brochure if you want it up.
It'll be on the board.
High five. Somebody look at Sister Deborah. We love you.
We love you.
We love you.
We love you.
We love you. All right, anybody else with any? So, Brother Isaiah, Sister Deborah is, I can mess with her because it is a gift to have people like her in the kingdom of God. With all the many talents that God has given her, her spirit of humility, her meekness, and her willing to desire to help others, it's just a beautiful thing. So I thank God for you. I like to tease you guys at times when it comes to this because, look, I'm only one what? So we got to figure out how we can leverage each other to help what?
Each other.
To keep each other what? Encouraged.
Right.
You know, that's what it's all about because you know, sometimes I'm encouraged. Brother Elijah's not here. He encouraged me the other day. Apostle encourages me all the time. Every time I talk to her, just listening to her talk about my future and what she sees and what God shows her. That's encouraging to know that God speaks to her when it concerns what? Me. So I'm encouraged. So anyways, I don't want to take any more time. I'm supposed to finish at 1. Any other questions? I know that this was a lot of information. I can't have 2 groups like this moving forward, right? Because I won't be able to get anything done. But today I just wanted to share with you some of the information that we'll start to have in our workshops. And our workshops really are just about empowering each other here at Faith Destiny Outreach Ministry to do what God has commissioned us to do, which is to subdue and have dominion over his what? Kingdom, which is our what? Kingdom that our Father has entrusted with us. We're going to say a word of prayer. We're going to close out. Amen. 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 Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity on this day, Father, to come together as a body of believers in you, Father. Father, we're just seeking to be able to gain the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding that already belongs to you, Father, that you would impart in us, Father, to be able to give us the resources to be good stewards in building your kingdom here on earth, Father. You've given us the great commission to continue to spread the good news, Father, and spreading it and doing the work that we need to do, Father. We realize that we need access to resources, Father. We need access to your wisdom and your knowledge. So, Father, we thank you for this meeting and others, Father, that will bring us together, Father, in love and unity, Father, to do your work here in your kingdom here on earth. In Jesus Christ's name, we thank you and we pray. Amen.
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 Well, I hope you got something out of it.
Yes, we did.
So we all just give Pastor Miller a hand for all
The apostle was going to say something before we leave.
and for any of the women that do not have the black t-shirts that you see some of the women that's wearing today, if you could see me before you leave.
And when We Branded opens, which is we do printing, t-shirt, large format, vehicle wrap, video production, photography. I'll share that on the board. They're not gonna buy their t-shirts wherever they buy them for anymore. Because they're gonna be, anytime we can support each other, if the quality is right, guess what we're gonna do?
Do it ourselves.
We're gonna start supporting what? Each other. Help. All right, we're out. Oh, Apostle had something. I apologize. Apostle had something she wanted to say.
Okay,